What's going on, guys? High Mountain Trader here with another video. This is kind of just a little follow-up video to the last one I created where I went over identifying some lines and some hidden channels and how to scalp off those lines, which is a pretty profitable way of trading. And this is just kind of follow-up to this. This is Thursday's trades the following day where we kind of did the same thing. We identified a few lines, we identified a somewhat of a hidden channel, and we just scalped off those lines. And we're just kind of go over that and see that you can do this every single day, just about, and it's pretty profitable. You just have to be very disciplined to the plan, and you know, don't add to a loser and try to bag hold this, because you know, futures can dump hard on you. But let's just kind of see how this plays out. I'm just going to fast forward through this and try to get through this video pretty quick. I think there's 6 trades on here, 5 green trades and 1 red trade, and we'll just see how it plays out. So right now you can see we're long here. We identified this line here. It's basically the 40 area, which has been somewhat of a key level. And we just went long right off this line. It's a pretty simple trade to understand. If this breaks and this candle closes below, then we get out. You know, I don't want to see it go too low down here, but I do know that they'll try to sweep the stops down here before it goes higher. So I'm not just going to let it you know, stop me out really quick. But if it starts dumping, I got to get out. And that's about as much risk as I wanted to put on. I actually was, you know, getting ready to stop out there if it pushed any lower. But I had a lot of confidence in this trade that, you know, once it grabbed everybody's stops below, it'd suck back up and go. We have 4 contracts on. This is the NASDAQ futures. And we'll just kind of see how this plays out. I'm going to kind of fast forward along. You can see it sucked back up, reclaim that line. Now I'm really confident now. You can see I put a stop in here, and you'll actually see that I moved this stop around quite a lot. Now I lowered it down. This isn't where I want, I'm not going to let it get to here. I don't have this stop in place because this is how much I want to risk. I have this stop in place because it's kind of just in case some sort of breaking news comes out. Sometimes I put them in, sometimes I don't. This time I said, you know what, I'm going to put this stop in here. And this is just in case some crazy news comes out or something happens and you get a 50, 100 point candle that just dumps on you out of nowhere. And you really should always have this stop in there. You'll see that a lot of times I don't put it in there, and that's my own stupidity sometimes. But, you know, if some sort of breaking news comes out, it's crazy, this thing can drop all the way down here in a minute before you can even think about stopping out and blowing up your whole account. So it's good to have that stop in somewhere just to protect yourself. I'm usually looking for 7 to 10 points on these moves off these lines, just depending on kind of the action. This one took a little bit to play out, so I'm just kind of fast forwarding through it. Let's go back just a little bit here. So I'm about to take this trade off and I'm going to flip short, and it looks a little bit crazy. So I took that off. I took that trade off. We made about $600 on that trade. So it doesn't look like much, but it's pretty high probability. And if you take a couple contracts, you can make good money. Now I'm about to flip short right here, and it looks a little bit crazy because I was just long. But I've already kind of identified, if you look at my mouse up here, this channel. I haven't drawn it out yet because I've done this long enough where I can just see these channels. But in the second here, I remember, look, Jason, you're making a video, and you want to be able to show people what you're doing. So I will draw this line in a second, you'll see. But right now, I've kind of identified this hidden channel right here, and that's what I'm shorting against. Didn't get the greatest entry. If I would have drew the line, I probably would have got a better entry, but I was looking for kind of a push right into here. I was still, you know, happy with this entry. And for right here, you're probably thinking this is a crazy trade. It bounced off this line, we're going to the moon. But I see that we already double topped, right? Actually triple topped, 1, 2, 3. I missed these trades because I wasn't in the market at this time. I was doing some other things and trading my other account. But after I seen this triple top, and then we were kind of, you know, making lower highs here, and then channeling down here, I just wanted to scalp off this channel right here. It's the same thing I did in the last video. It's just a little bit harder to identify because I haven't drew the line yet. Now I'm a little bit, nervous on this trade just because, we have this big push up and we're kind of flagging sideways again, and this could break up. But I take these trades all the time, and once I draw that line there, you'll kind of see. It's going to kind of fast forward through, and I think I only took like 6 or 7 points on this trade here, or maybe 5 points as it starts pushing back up, because I thought this is probably going to push up and test this channel one more time, and I can take some profit here and then re-enter up here. There's no reason to hold through it. I can make money twice off of it if it plays out how I expect. And I just took it off right there. You can see now we're up $935. Made about $400 on that trade. Nothing big. And what I'm looking for is for it to push back up here towards this area again, so I can get another entry short off of that same channel. And there it is right there. So I entered short right here, the same channel I'm watching right here. I'm really looking for, at least to push back down to this line here. On this trade, I want to try to get at least 10 points off this trade. I got a really good entry on this one. That was just a little fun there, guys. Got to keep it, entertaining. So, but yeah, we did take this off right here. You can see we're up $1,545 now. I mean, I'm not sure what this is going to do. Is it going to break down right here? Is it going to go up? So I'm just being a little bit cautious. And you can see I just drew this line here. And this should give you a better visual of what I was trading off. I know it looked kind of crazy when I was, shorting, these moves up here, but this is what I was shorting. I was shorting this channel right here. Like I said, after 3 times trying to break this high and then kind of putting in lower highs right here, identifying this hidden channel right here. Once I seen 2 points, to connect this line, I'm trying to play off the third line, off the third touch of it, actually. So I seen 1, 2, put in a line right here, and I shorted right here, scalped it, re-entered right here short, and then took it at the bottom of this line. Just kind of fast forwarding through. Moving this line around a little bit, just trying to make sure that I have it on the best possible spot, It's really an area. Frustrated right now that I didn't take the long off here again. I wanted to. I was thinking about it. I had my finger on the trigger and I just didn't take it. But that's okay. And I went short again here, but you can see I only have 1 contract. And I want to get as close to an entry up here as I can. I'm playing off the same line. I have 2 contracts now. I know it's already tested this several times. We do have kind of a bullish flag pattern here on the bigger picture. And so I have my finger on the close button here just in case that stops out. And just in case this breaks to the upside, because a lot of times after 1, 2, 3 tests, the 4th time I will look for the breakout. But I consider this all kind of one test. So you got 1, 2. This is still the 3rd test. And I'm still pretty confident in the short here. Again, I only have 2 contracts. I'm trying to size down a little bit because this is, multiple tests of this line and it could break out. So I didn't want to have full size. I wanted to hold on to some of my profits for the day. I took one off right there. So now I'm only holding one contract. I just put a few dollars in my pocket on that scalp. I didn't want to be too greedy. In hindsight, I wish I would have held it because it does come all the way back down to that line. And I just took it off right there. You can see we're up $1,670. Nothing big on that trade. The tighter we squeeze together here, the more I'm thinking about the break one way or another. This is not a great trade because I missed that last pushback, you know, and because we have this bullish flag pattern here, overall, this huge push up and then sideways consolidation, overall, I was more bullish. So I did take a long here with 4 contracts. And I thought if we pushed up here again and this line held, we're going to break this channel this time and we're going to come up and we're going to get a big winner out of this trade. You can see over here on the right, I have my finger on the close button. I should have a stop in down here like I did last time, just in case this just dumps, some news comes out or something. Once I have 4 contracts on and we're kind of attempting to break a line here. But I just didn't do that. And I would suggest that you always put a stop in, even if it's not like right here where you want to actually stop out. Let's say this is your stop, where you're going to stop out. You don't have to put it there. You can manage that manually if you're confident in yourself. But put a oh crap stop down here, because if news comes out, this can drop 100 points in a heartbeat. And I should have that in every single time. But I do have my finger on the button, and the minute I see this push down, I will click it. But if it's on news and it drops hard, you may feel down here. So right now I'm feeling good. I'm like, okay, yeah, we held this line again. It's turning green, and we're going to come up here. We're going to break the channel. This one I might hold for a bigger move and try to get, 15, 20 points out of this one. Put me up a couple thousand on the day. You can see right now we're up about 1,700. But if it starts breaking back to the downside after going green, I just want to jump right out. So I don't want to give this much room anymore. If it fails to push, I was up a couple $100 on that little push right there, but the theory on this is if it would come up here again, it's going to break this, and this is something I can hold for a little bit longer. Maybe take 2 contracts off up here and let the other 2 run a little bit. At this point, it's starting to feel heavy to me, and I just jumped out right there. So you can see we lost like $100 on that trade. We just jumped out. We didn't like it. So after that trade, we jumped out right here. We lost $100, and we did get a big push down. That's over 10 points. That would have been about $1,000 loss. So I'm glad I cut my loss quick when it started feeling heavy. And I do have a line down here, but I didn't quite think we were going to get down there yet. I think this was a stop sweep again here, just to take everybody who's long off this line had to stop out on this candle. So once we start looking like we're going to bounce from here, I'm looking for the same trade again, basically a push back up to this line to test this line again here. And so I know this trade looks a little bit sketchy, and this isn't an A+ setup. But it's something that just out of experience, I kind of see this channel right here. If you see my mouse kind of forming right here, I didn't draw the line, but I can see it. And I'm really confident that we're going to push at least back up to here and potentially kind of go all the way back to the top end up here and test the highs of the days again after this big push up. So that's what, the theory on this trade is. And I wish I would have got in down here on the 30s, but why this is red pushing down, and I see this line here, the 20 line, which is more important than the 30 line. I wasn't going to just jump in long here. That would have been crazy. So right now what I'm looking for is to see it hold above this green candle right here, because I'm in my head, I don't think we're going down right here. I think we're going to push back up to this line. And so I went long right here, and I have a very tight stop here. If this candle right here that I bought on turns red, I'm out. I'm right out. And so again, I could have took 2 off here because we are back testing this line. And that's kind of the theory of this trade, is that we're going to push back up to back test this area. But I didn't, because I really thought we'd see this channel. This is just price action trading. There's nothing overly complicated about it. It's pretty simple. And there we go. And we just took that off 9-10 points. We're up $2,200 on the day. And I think that's about it for this video. And I believe you can see this during Power Hour, and Amazon earnings came out right after the close, and this jumped, like 200 points. And so, of course, that happened after hours, so I wouldn't have been in that trade anyway, but this did not play out to the upside. It dumped all the way back down here in a couple candles. So, but that was some pretty simple to understand trades. We're just trading on a channel, trading on a line, and make $2,200 in what, about 30-40 minutes, with never having too much risk on the table. And I find these channels every single day, these lines and these channels every single day, and I trade off of them. Occasionally I'll have a red day, but it's pretty consistent. And I'm actually am making this video here on Saturday, and these trades are from Thursday. So I do have Friday's trades where I did identify another channel. Now on Friday I had 2 losers, and I was down about $1,500, $1,600. But once we had identified a good solid channel, we were able to scalp our way back off those same kind of lines yesterday, and finish the day up pretty nice by the end of the day. So this is a pretty consistent way of trading. Once you get some experience with it, again, identifying the triple top, the lower high, and then that kind of channel here where you can kind of just scalp off all the way down. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys liked the video, and we'll be coming out with some cool stuff next week. I don't want to talk about it right now, but it should be pretty fun for the channel. And so we will see you on Monday.